It's 7:40. Let's do this. Good evening, Hampton Roads. Good evening, Northeast North Carolina. My name is David Aldrich, Chief Meteorologist of WTKR News 3 Television, and you're watching First Warning Live. We focus on all things weather, sponsored by Marco's Pizza because we get hungry from time to time. But it is interesting to note rain will be arriving to this time tomorrow night. Rain arrives mainly at night. Doesn't mean you can't get a shower at 3 in the afternoon. You could, but it's less likely. It's a better chance you'll get it tomorrow night. Does that help? It happens on Thursday. All this is going to happen in a short period of time. But you know what we're just a few days away from? A week from tonight. Oh, I believe Santa will be getting on his sleigh. Oh, yes, he will. 7 days away from Christmas Eve. Are you getting a choo-choo train set? I don't know. Did you ask Santa for it? Because you know what? You only get what you ask for. Partly cloudy and 59. But I was dreaming of a white Christmas. Well, we had some snow, let's be fair, about 9 days ago. Back on the 8th of December, we had quite a bit of snow, especially in the peninsulas, but I digress. 59 degrees. I don't know if Santa's in shorts. I mean, maybe he's in shorts. Are you in shorts at 59 degrees? Because it was actually 62 today. You didn't expect 62. No, I didn't. I didn't even expect these clouds to break as much as they did, but the southwest wind brought in the transport, and suddenly we pushed up into the low 60s, the warmest day of December so far. Last time we were in the 60s was the 30th of November when it was 65. But I'm full of facts and figures. They're all here. Just wanted to share that with you. 59 is what you expect next Wednesday? Yes. And if you are looking for a chance of a white Christmas based on history, the legend's at the top of the screen here. If it's white, 90 to 100% chance of snow in places like, I don't know, Minnesota. In fact, my college roommate at Chapel Hill lives in Minneapolis area, let's say around Minnesota. He was in Wilmer for a while, but he's still there. He just sent me a text last night because he thought, are you ready for this? He thought my snow globe, if you saw the post on my Facebook, I had a gingerbread man, I had a snow globe. And he writes this note, it was really designed for you, the viewer. He said, David, you can tell your viewers that your college roommate will happily hand a shovel to anyone that would like to come up here, Minnesota, and see some snow for Christmas. I think that's generous. I haven't responded to him, so if he's watching, David Lanning, I just want to thank you for that generosity to let us know that white Christmas is just a short drive away. You don't even have to go to Minnesota. You could go to Snowshoe, West Virginia. I'm sure you'll find some snow somewhere. Now, we're 8 days away from Christmas. We're 9 days away from Kwanzaa, and we've got Rudolph on the screen. I mean, can you say the temperatures are going to be nice? Yeah, they'll be pleasant, comfortable on Christmas Day. Precipitation may be naughty for two reasons. One, it's still undetermined because one of the long-range models puts almost a half inch to an inch of rain on Christmas morning. Boo, I don't like rain. But there's other models that say it's completely dry. So it's still undetermined. This far out, I know that's strange and crazy, but when you look at the sudden stratospheric warming event, which we'll look at again, there's going to be some changes that even the models don't see just yet. And then the winds might be breezy, so I put that on the naughty list too. We'll have to wait and see how Santa plays that out, but that's 8 days away. By the way, lows this morning, 28. Now that seems balmy to you. If it does, you're just like, you're nuts. 28's below freeze. I know. 28 occurred at 2:27 a.m., but it was 24 in Chesapeake, 31 in Virginia Beach, 30 in Elizabeth City. Now I've done the homework for you. We were at 19 on Monday. That's cold. And these are the actual temperatures on the left side of the line. So we hit 23 yesterday, 28 this morning. We're stair-stepping all the way off the chart to 54 for a low Friday morning. I mean, the normal low is 37. We'll be there tomorrow morning, if not even warmer, because we're just going to continue on. This has been a slow thaw, but we are going to get better. Because what I'm expecting, that's the forecast, right? There's the forecast, 37, 54, and the actual. So I just wanted to give you that information so that you can kind of put it in your context. So like, okay, it is warmer, but it's still cold, right? Some of you are like, I'm a summer fan. I'm on Team Spring, Team Summer. This is for the birds. This is not for me. I get it. But it is the season, and you got to have cold air if you have any hope of having a white Christmas. It's just the way it goes. It's one of the main ingredients. How can you bake cookies without flour or butter? You can't do it. It'd be very difficult to do, I guess. Though another way to look at it. But today was warmer. In the afternoon, we went from 28 to 62, and that happened at 2:07 this afternoon. It was 61 in Chesapeake, Virginia Beach, Elizabeth City. Edenton hit 62. while our friends in Gloucester, Newport News hit 58 degrees. If you're on the call, would love to say hi to you. I'm just going on down the road here because I've got so much to cover. I did have a 4 o'clock stream because we didn't have a 4 o'clock newscast. We had some maybe some technical difficulties of sorts, but we did a stream, and this is more of the elaborate one. I'm going to answer more of your questions on this stream if you have any. I got Arthur Cole, who is actually saying, I'm hearing the 28th of December is going to get very cold. Well, he's probably been listening to me because I've been talking about it since yesterday and the day before. But anyway, my point is we're going to find some cold air returning in time for the new year. If not before, certainly leading into the first days of January. I just suspect you're going to see that, and it may catch some people off guard. So this is all about first warning. I can tell you this, the rain will be substantial by the time we hit late Thursday night into Friday, but I get ahead of myself. I'm looking at Kentucky, where there is a warm front draped across the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and we've got a trough, the broken black line there in the Commonwealth of Virginia that extends up toward Wilmington, Delaware, Philadelphia, South Jersey, all the way up to New England at this time. And it may be producing a few sprinkles, it looks like, back toward Roanoke in the last couple of hours, but really in the big scheme of things, not a big deal. I'm just importing some of the new comments that might be coming in, and if you have a note or have a comment that you would like to share, I'd love to say hi to you. Kim Thompson-Jones wrote this 3 minutes ago. She wants to say, good evening, everyone. Glad to have Kim here. She is a regular viewer. If you're a first-time watcher, love it. And I've got also Taj Brown, who has made my day. He says, happy halfway day, First Warning Live. And happy early birthday to you, my friend, because you told me yesterday that Friday is your day. And Friday will actually be nice and sun-filled for the second half of the day as our temperatures go down the second half of the day. It's all in response to a cold front coming to town. Now, I show you this for a reason. As we can see, there are clouds, but they're thin spots, right? That's kind of the way it was today. There was enough sunlight and enough of a southwest wind that did nudge us out of the 50s, in most cases into the lower 60s. Our peak wind gust, I believe, yes, was 29. Kind of moved through some of those numbers, but we had gusts around 25 in Windsor, as a peak gust in Newport News and Kill Devil Hills about 22, and 23 in Suffolk. I do suspect the winds will not be much of a factor through noon tomorrow. Where are you getting the noon tomorrow? Right up here. Follow along. This is the day and the time stamp when you've got peak wind speeds under 15 in most cases. Not a big deal. But tomorrow night, different story. There's 5 o'clock. Tell me when these numbers jump off the page. Ooh, wait a second. What time is that? That looks like it's 11 o'clock Thursday. So that's tomorrow night. You've got winds gusting near 40 and maybe 36 along the eastern shore, 27 on the south side. And it might still get even stronger at 2 in the morning, that's 2 a.m., and 43 the Outer Banks, 40 for Eastern Shore. So some of the earlier model runs had about 45 for the Eastern Shore. So, I mean, you're on the table of some gusty winds that might wake you up. And if you're a light sleeper, as some of you may be, you've got winds blowing and drifting, not drifting, but just blowing, the rain pounding the window pane. It might wake you up. And if there's a rumble of thunder, there's another reason why it might be a hard night to sleep, if and only if you're a light sleeper across Hampton Roads and Northeast North Carolina. What about the winds once the sun's up? There's 7 a.m., still gusting in the Outer Banks like Duck, Nag's Head, and Kill Devil Hills over 40, 36 Eastern Shore. So you've got some gusty winds, and now we haven't even gotten to the element of the rain. Let's get to that. This is how it's going to play out, graphically speaking. By 5 o'clock, there's not much tomorrow. I mean, there may be a little bit of rain in the Outer Banks, maybe down toward Hatteras or Ocracoke, it would appear. But you could spend most, if not most of the day tomorrow, rain-free. And you might be scratching your head. This weather guy said it was going to rain. It didn't rain at all. I said mainly at night. So give it some time. There's 8 o'clock at night. Now it's beginning to fill in. And this is 8 p.m. tomorrow evening. So roughly about this time, 24 hours from now, it could look like this. And it will only intensify around midnight, 1, 2, 3 in the morning. As you can see, some of those yellow areas start to become a little more intense, and then the front comes through. So by the time we get to 7 or 8 in the morning Friday, this is beginning to wind down, but our temperatures are on the cooler side and beginning to drop. So the afternoon, which of course I believe is Taj Brown's birthday, I don't know how old he is, he's just a year wiser in my view, but I can tell you it's going to be clearing out. Clouds will get out of here most likely before the sun sets on Friday afternoon. Now rain chances are going up to 40, I think, in the evening. 80% really is kind of skewed in the morning hours. I've shown you this, but wanted to kind of put this in perspective. From this white line, everything over here is Thursday, and everything over here is Friday. So we've got midnight here. We spike around midnight, 1, 2 a.m. By the time we hit 8 o'clock in the morning, the chance of rain's down to 40%. So it's really a night event. Might have a 10% chance at 4, 30% chance at 8. But I think this is really probably the best way to view what's coming. So we're going to be anticipating about an inch of rain. Some might have more, some might have less. But I do think it's going to be heavily skewed in the pre-dawn hours of midnight to 4 a.m. Does that help assist you in your expectation? Because that's what this is all about. I want to engage and have these conversations with you. If you're so inclined, you have a question, you have a concern, let me know. I'll do my best to put you on the screen. I got Kim Thompson-Jones following up, and she does right here. She says, yes, you are by a couple days, LOL. I'm so very glad to have you here. By the way, Kim, if I haven't mentioned, many of you might watch here and say, you know what, I love weather. I love to be able to follow the weather, but sometimes I get hungry. And if that's the case, well, let me save you some money. We have a deal of the week with Marco's. Marco's is our sponsor. If you use the promo code WTKR50, you can get half off anything possibly that you want at marcos.com. That could be a pizza, that could be a pizza bowl, that could be a sub, it could be wings, desserts, or even cheesy bread, because they do have a lot of things, and I mean a lot of things on their menu. If you check it out, marcos.com, desserts, salads, Greek salad, they even have cauliflower crust. If something gluten-friendly, they can make it. They're here to help you, they're here to serve you, and you can get half off that item that you might pick, anything. In fact, you can get multiple orders. WTKR50 is the promo code that you want to enter in. Now, there are only 6 locations that will participate. So the 50% off has to be redeemed at either these 3 Virginia Beach locations, 2 in Chesapeake, 1 in Norfolk, and this will all be going through Saturday, hence the words deal of the week. Now, if you want some free pizza, we're also doing that tomorrow, Thursday. In a true fashion, we're going to give away a pizza certificate. If you want, sign up. You only have to do it once. Randomly selected, WTKR.com/Marcos. That's our webpage. Check us out, because we're going to be giving away one of these, a pizza for a year certificate, where you can check box the December month and then go right through the first 11 months of 2026 for one large, one topping pizza that's free. And we've given away hundreds and hundreds of pizzas since, I don't know, I guess since May. We've been doing this that long. And if you're hungry for something like calzone, stromboli, it's called a pozzoli. It's delicious. My favorite is the pepperoni and sausage, the Magnifico. This is awesome at half price too. You might want a one topping Old Cup style pepperoni. It's delicious. If you haven't tried one, make sure you do. And I'm sure you'll be pleased, as I am, because again, you get hungry. Now, tomorrow night, we're going to be issuing out 10 individual pizzas. So if somebody's going to get the pizza for a year, that's 12 pizzas in the future, but we're also going to give away 10 individual pizzas. Your name may be on that list, and I hope so. If you do win, I will celebrate with you at this time tomorrow night. Now, rainfall forecast here, whatever reason, does not show any signs of showing up, but I can tell you it's about a half inch to about an inch and a half for the Albemarle. This is the European model, and it tends to be a little more subdued. It's suggesting generally about 0.65-ish for Norfolk, and almost an inch for Edenton, maybe a little bit less. But there will be locally higher amounts. It wouldn't surprise me if someone says, I got an inch and a quarter. Well, think of it this way. If you get an inch and a quarter of rain by Friday morning, it's beneficial rain, because many of us have been on the dry side, and it would be helpful to get some of that. Now, we've had snowfall so far this season. I mentioned it would be front-end loaded. If you don't remember, it was Veterans Day. In the pre-dawn hours, we received 0.2, which is not much. And then on Monday, the 8th, we picked up just under an inch, but we are now officially, for the season, up to an inch, but we have nothing to show for it. Nothing. Not even a flake. Just some memories on the camera roll. That's it. I understand that. Now, let's see if who's still watching and want to interact with the trivia question. What time does the winter solstice this year officially begin? Is it A, 10:03 a.m., B, 12:03 p.m., or C, 10:03 p.m.? You got 3 options. Any one of these are valid guesses. I mean, let's face it. But if the winter solstice, when does winter actually begin? But it already snowed. I guess it already happened. Well, in our mind's eye, it might feel like it's past meteorological winter, but this is the astronomical start. If you're on the call, would love to say hi to you. If you've got a guess, let me know. Kim is following up about 2 minutes ago. She says she loves the pizza. It's delicious, and the pozzolis are fantastic. Let's see here. Taj will not tell me how old he is. He is saying, if I told you, might not believe it. That's okay, Taj. I'm going to assume that you're forever young and forever wise, because you usually get these trivia questions right. I'm going to guess that you're going to guess it right. I got a guess from Kim. Kim is the first one to draw in here. She says A. Do you think it's A, 10:03 a.m.? You are correct. Ding, 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 ding. Way to go. Kim got it right. I guess it was a head fake. Forecaster Dara Getter put this together for us. Said she was very sly to put in the 10:03 p.m. So if you weren't sure. But what does that actually mean? It just means the first day of winter, season's greetings, happens to occur in the morning of Sunday the 21st. And if this is all Greek to you, it's just the fact that there's a specific time when the sun is directly over the Tropic of Capricorn. So when you go back to the bottom half of the globe that's been spun into motion, the solar energy is greatest in the southern hemisphere, so it's game on for summer in Australia. It's game on for summer in southern South America. If you're there, yeah, you'll love the warmer weather, but for here, tilted away from the sun, we're going to feel the cold air at times. We're going to get into that in a moment with the sudden stratospheric warming update. Headlines, more warmth on the way, 50s and 60s to end the work week. It is now 7:55. Next rain chances later Thursday to Friday morning. Boy, if we covered that. And then mostly sunny Saturday. Yay, I've got to buy some more gifts. Yeah, I'm in there. I got, I think, at least 1 or 2 left to go. And then partly cloudy Sunday in the 50s. So does that help you? I mean, I try to make it. Some people understand communication in terms of pictures, sound like words. The headlines do a great job. And I think it kind of summarizes where we're going. Now, we don't have a lot of low clouds. We have maybe some high clouds. So our METARs are showing, it seems like a moon on most of the locations here, but essentially most of it's clear below 5,000 feet. Most of what we have in terms of clouds are above 5,000 feet. Now, tomorrow's planner, pretty simple. I left more clouds in the picture. I think we're going to be at double nickels at noon. Double nickels, 55. Some of us can't drive 55, Sammy Hagar, but maybe our temperature could be 55 at noon. Easy to remember. Winds are light, 5 to 10. 64, I know there's an interstate, 64. I think we have a good chance. If we hit 62 today, I'm hopeful that we'll get to 64 tomorrow. A little bit warmer. Sun's down now at 4:51. And then the showers develop. That's not to say we couldn't get something at 3 or 4. We'll look at that some more when we do a closer view of the Futurecast here in mere moments. But that's where I expect to be. Current temperature. And these are the 8 o'clock numbers. We have fallen from 62. We're now at 49. But you said the low would be 37. Yeah, we'll get there. It'll be close to there by morning. But it's already 46 in Carrollton. It's just dropped to 45 in Franklin. In fact, the 8 o'clock numbers are just trickling in, and the computer will automatically update that for us. 51 in Kitty Hawk. It's 47 in Manio. Our friends in Cape Charles are at 52 degrees. Now, lows tonight, mid-30s inland, about 35 for Elizabeth City, Harbor Hospitality, 42 for Duck, 39 for Cape Charles, 37 for Gloucester, Matthews 36, Smithfield, and also Chesapeake, mid-30s by morning, Gatesville, about 34. Now, this may blow your mind. Are you ready for this? I worked on this today, and I was like, oh, cool, I could do that. And you might be thinking, what can you do? Well, let me show you. All right, so this is our current readings right now as of 8 o'clock Eastern. And if I said it's going to get cold, like Minnesota cold, some of you are like, 37, that's nothing. I don't even know what cold, we're 37. We were like that this morning. We were 28. But if you look beyond and under the hood of the car, let's go to Canada, for example. Ooh, those are current readings, my friend. If you were to travel by plane, because I obviously wouldn't advise you to hike, to head up to Lynn Lake Airport, negative 27. Didn't we just establish last night? I'm pretty sure we did. We established last night that the coldest temperature, I believe, was Roger Pass, Montana. In the lower 48, was negative 70 in like 1954. So negative 70 seems pretty chilly. I don't know how anybody could survive that. I'm amazed how people, and it's true, people get struck by lightning sometimes around the country. How do they survive it? Even if they get that much electricity in nanoseconds, how do they live to tell about it? You know what I'm saying? So when I look at negative 27, or maybe at Fort Severn at negative 22, is it possible we could see another surge of this cold air oozing down? Yes, it is. Yes, it's possible. And if you look at today's numbers, or actually colors, from the 11 miles up, we'll call it 10, 11 miles up at 70 millibars, this is from today. And it's showing another surge of warm air aloft, roughly between 6 and 31 miles up in the sky. Another way to look at this is a closer view, and you can see we've gone from orange to red. So we're going to see another surge. It's coming down like spokes of a wheel. You're going to continue to see on track more cold air coming down the United States. And if we did an assumption that this will trickle down in about 30 to 40 days, I was saying 27, 28 days, because that was the last surge of this cold air. We were looking at this going back to, really going back to the 18th. Let me go back. Yeah, this was the 26th. But I believe we had the 18th. Yeah, here it is, the 18th of November. And then all of a sudden, we had a feels like of 9 on Monday morning when it hit to 19. So all of this typically has a time release. It doesn't immediately show up on the modeling, and oftentimes there's a blind spot. You know what? If you were to go to a car dealer, an old car dealer, say, I didn't know this car had a blind spot. I want to return it. That would be kind of silly. Most of the cars now, you have so many gadgets, you have cameras everywhere, you don't have a blind spot. But back in the day, that was a thing. And of course, the blind spot is the models aren't going to necessarily see all the cold air that's trying to surge down. Once it comes down, warm air rises, cold air sinks. And it's going to push back down in a big way. And if it's any indication, you look at Minneapolis at 37, you might be thinking, that's not cold. What's this weather guy talking? I'm looking up here, my friend. I mean, how long would it take? How much would it take, except maybe a change in the wind direction, for some of that cold air to urge and ooze back down into the Great Lakes? And of course, modified, it was like negative, what was it, negative 34 for Wisconsin and Iowa, Sunday night, Monday morning, a couple days ago. They had wind chills expected to be in that negative 34 category. So by the time I got here, it felt like it was 9. I'm kind of beating this drum because I don't want you to think winter's over. Not by a long stretch. Warmer days are ahead, yes, but in the longer term, heading into the end of the month and into January, there's more cold air and more potential for snow. There's just, you have to have cold air to have snow, but really in the big scheme of things, things have kind of lightened up a little bit. Now here's the temperature trend here at 8:01. 64 my expectation tomorrow, but please note there is a down arrow here. 62 would come in the morning as we drop through the 50s and eventually the 40s. Saturday is kind of cool, if not chilly, but I expect a 10-degree jump on Sunday at 57 degrees. Monday's pretty cold. All right, normal high is 54. I think we'll be lucky to hit with full sunshine. I think Monday, full sunshine at 43 degrees. I like to call that a very classic term, deceiving sunshine. You look out the window, boy, it's sunny. I'm going to go outside, and then you go and have to pump gas, and you're freezing, right? It's cold. 43 is a tough number to take when it's that bright and sunny. It's very deceiving for sure. Got some new notes. Just wanted to say hi to you. I see Taj had the wrong guess. He had the right number, but the wrong AM, PM. He had PM. But that's okay, Taj. you're not to your birthday yet, but you're going to get wiser, I'm sure, just between today, tomorrow, and then Friday. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that's exciting that you've got a birthday. So congratulations to you, my friend. All right, so here's the Arctic air. We talk about it rotating counterclockwise. How does it come down? It needs to have a little bit of a kickstart, a displacement. It tends to reverse the winds when you get these sudden stratospheric warming events, which are naturally occurring, and they push down across Canada and eventually the Great Lakes. So if it can be negative 22 or negative 27 in parts of Canada, why not think it could also come back down here eventually? Let's see if this graphic will update. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. There it is. You can see the warm colors right through the 27th of December, but there's some cold air still back here. There's more cold air where that came from, and it will eventually come back down. Another way to look at it, it's like spokes on a wheel. It just continues to spin around and around and around, much like the tide at the ocean front, at the Outer Banks, and the eastern shore. You'll find some tides, right? It'll come ebb and flow, and so eventually some of this will come back down. I did mention we hit 62 today. Record high is 73 from 1924. We hit 62 at 2:07 p.m., and it was only the second day of the month that we were actually above normal. The last 60-degree day was actually 65, and that was on the 30th of November. So it was 65 here on November 30th. So it's been a rather long cold stretch, running now over 10 degrees below normal. Pretty amazing stuff. Now, I looked at the airports. I like to see if weather is having an implication. Looks like Dallas has a little bit of a delay, but what's going on in Denver? Is there a storm in Denver? Let's go check it out. It looks like they've got rain maybe departing through maybe through Nebraska. South Dakota's got some rain and maybe even some snow across Montana. But if we were to zoom in here, maybe they've had some issues with winds. Fort Collins, they're getting some rain, but maybe on the other side of I-25, Steamboat Springs have got some snow in the Rockies. And Vail, they certainly could probably use that for snowboarding and skiing purposes. But we've got more rain across Minneapolis and maybe they're getting more snow in parts of Wisconsin at this hour. Looks like it's coming down pretty good across the country line there from North Dakota into Canada. They've got some snow over there. Down to the south, a couple of sprinkles, it looks like in East Tennessee, maybe headed toward Knoxville, definitely headed in the direction of Rockwood, Athens, McMinn County, and will likely work its way toward Lenoir City here in the next few minutes. Bigger picture shows we've got dry weather in Virginia Beach. A couple of sprinkles have developed, it looks like south of Roanoke, and maybe not far from Martinsville. All right, so let's keep moving. It is now 8:05. Temperature right now in Virginia Beach and Norfolk 49, 50 in Portsmouth. It's currently 52 in Hampton. Pick out your favorite number. We have 40 in Ahoskie right now, 47 in Edenton, Currituck's 50, Kiptopeke is at 49, while our friends in Gloucester are at 46 degrees. I got some other notes. Taj is wanting to say thank you. I thank you for watching. You know, this is the second live stream. Just today, I've seen you leave comments, so I appreciate your support and Kim's support. Everybody watches, and some of you watch, faithfully all the time, but maybe not in the live element. And if that's the case, well, I appreciate it. Because I know that I can see from the views, we got more people watching it later on in the day or evening than they watch maybe during the 7:40 to 8 o'clock. I never typically end at 8. I'll usually go to 8:15. I've got now 8:06. So let me finish up on time here, and we'll get back to some happy shots as well. But notice the temperatures, 47 in Louisville. It's 48. Our friends in Knoxville, East Tennessee, they're very comparable to our friends in Virginia Beach. So both East Tennessee, 48, Virginia Beach, 49, Richmond, 49. Many of us are still in the upper 40s here at 8:06 Eastern Time. And we've already looked at the national map and really looked up toward Canada, how cold it is up there, -27. That's insane, I know. I wouldn't want to be there, would you? I would be dripping my faucets if I were up toward Fort Severn or up at the Lynn Lake Airport. Now, the future cold, it's really illustrated by the white areas. Blue's bad, right? At 5,000 feet, you can clearly see there's going to be a run. We will pave the highway for colder air probably about 3 days, 2 or 3 days after Christmas. This represents the 27th. And when I say pave the highway, there won't be much to push this butt further down, right? It'll come down into the Virginia Beach area, but this is the crazy cold. Anything that's white would be the crazy cold when you're looking at -25, -22. It's cold enough that, it's shiver me timbers, right? It's very, very cold. And of course, the only thing the Climate Prediction Center is focused on right now is the above normal temperatures in the short term. That should read the 25th through the 31st. I believe this is the actual picture for the last few days of the year. By the way, it's now time for the Eastern Shore. 57 is a magic number for Chincoteague, Saxes, and Bloxham, while Nancock, Exmoor, and Cape Charles all in the mid-50s tomorrow with mostly cloudy skies. Very little rain until dark, but there's still a possibility. 60 for Kill Devil Hills, 59 for Nags Head, Manio, Wanchese, Roanoke Island, and Duck at 58. Rodanthe should be around 60 tomorrow, while Ocracoke and Hatteras climb into the mid-60s tomorrow. I do mention the Climate Prediction Center. I also want to follow up with the Storm Prediction Center. Colors do mean a thing when you're talking about severe weather. And we had the National Weather Service folks from Wakefield here today. I didn't really talk about that on the last live stream, but they were here for like 2 hours. We had a chance to do a case study from April 19th. It was a synoptic mesoscale case study of what happened when there was a tornado outbreak in 2019. So it was April 19th, 2019. If you're old enough to remember, or were here 6 years ago, it was a pretty dramatic event. So we had a chance to kind of role play. What's it like to have to draw the polygon, to draw the tornado warning, and where and who should be alerted and who shouldn't be alerted, because you don't want to make the cone too big relative to where you think rotation is occurring. So some pictures I have on my Facebook page if you want to check it out. But I want to say a special thanks to Sam Ray, to Jordan, from Mike, and the whole group. Harry, appreciate everybody coming because we had a great time. And of course, our First Warning Weather team all participated here. And of course, we will learn more in the days to come when we get another round of severe weather in 2026. Now, there's no severe weather threat for Thursday, no severe weather threat on Friday. Things look pretty quiet, so we can skip by this as well. Nothing to see in the lower 48. Here's where things get interesting. 10 o'clock tonight, I see some clouds. Winds are light, not much to see. Notice the winds are still pretty light when you wake up tomorrow, if you're out the door at 5, 6, 7, or 8 a.m. If you're out the door in those hours, winds are pretty light out of the east, about 5 miles an hour. Now, there could be some sunlight popping through some of these clouds at noon, and there could be a sprinkle. But as I said, this is a sprinkle or a light shower is a far cry from the main event. I don't see much in terms of the main event until after dark. 3 o'clock, sure, there could be a little shower in Dare County. Maybe it's in Manio on the bottom of your screen. But you'll notice 5 o'clock, most of us have escaped with a dry day. Not much to see in terms of rain, pretty slim, 10% chance maybe during the day. But by 10 o'clock at night, and certainly by midnight, when things start to reach a fever pitch, I have an 80% chance of rain. Do you understand why? Not everybody's getting wet, but most of us are, and I think it peaks between midnight and about 3 or 4 in the morning. Winds have picked up to double digits, 16, and then it just comes down in buckets. This is representative of 2 a.m. Williamsburg, Elizabeth City, Ahoskie. Pretty sloppy weather, and that's why your downpours will really take place while many of us are asleep. It just will be, you'll wake up and say, where did all this water come from? I'm standing in puddles. I mean, this could be heavy rain, locally heavy rain, and where you see some red areas could, in fact, at 4 a.m. represent a thunderstorm, embedded thunderstorm. I don't think it's widespread, but that is still on the table. And so where you see Elizabeth City, where you see some areas in Dare County, maybe a few thunderstorms roll by, and the winds are still pretty busy out of the south at 18 miles an hour sustained. Now, 5 a.m., we're getting closer to sunrise. Sunrise now is around, say, 7:13-ish in the morning. So there's 7, sun's coming up, most of the rain's trying to work out of here. Not totally, but most of it's trying to get out of the picture, and I think we'll continue to see that improve dramatically as we head toward midday on Friday. Now this represents a macro view. 7 o'clock Thursday, we've got some rain coming in, showed this before, and it'll sweep out where they will get snow in places like upstate New York, Pennsylvania, parts of West Virginia, but then it's followed up Saturday with lots of sunshine, albeit cold sunshine. It's sunshine all the same. So tomorrow morning, mid to upper 30s as a general rule, about 38 Hampton, 36 for Edenton, Ahoskie 33, Wakefield 33. Tonight's low is about 36 for Melfa, 41 Nags Head, and 34 for Gatesville. So tomorrow afternoon, I think we got a good shot at getting back into the low to mid 60s. 58 though for the peninsula, it's about 63 Suffolk, 58 Duck, 54 Cape Charles, and 62 in Ahoskie, while Smithfield, Chesapeake, and Moyock should climb into the lower 60s tomorrow. Here's your first warning. WTKR News 3 7-day forecast. 62 and falling Friday, 47 Saturday. Last minute shopping looks great. Mostly sunny, partly cloudy on Sunday at 57. So a 10-degree difference from Saturday to Sunday. A lot going on with Breakfast with Santa in Hampton and Suffolk. The Grinch Brunch at Williamsburg, Virginia Beach. Cookies with Santa at the Williamsburg Lodge. And of course, Santa s'mores and more at Virginia Beach. And who could forget Disney on Ice at the Scope, where Disney, actually it's Mickey's search party begins. So maybe they've misplaced Mickey. That sounds like some cool drama that will unfold at the Scope. That's the name of the show, and I'm sure a lot of kids would like to see and find Mickey during that ice skating event. Now, if we're looking at this realistically, Christmas Eve is on the far right. This is Wednesday. I kind of led with this, so could conceivably Santa be wearing shorts? Maybe. I mean, let's face it, 59, if you live in the North Pole, 59 probably seems pretty balmy. But if he is in shorts, maybe, as Jessica Larche and Kurt Williams said, maybe not the best look. Maybe if he hasn't had much sun throughout the year and his legs are exposed, and maybe he should put on a pair of long pants, because 59 isn't necessarily warm, but given the fact the normal high is about 54 this time of year, that's 5 degrees above normal, and still yet to be determined if we're going to see a little bit of rain or no rain at all for Christmas. I encourage you to stay tuned. By the way, we got some happy shots real quickly. This is from Florence, by the way. Not recently, but some old pictures. If you're dreaming of a white Christmas, may I hopefully bring you back with some happy shots of snow. It's kind of like looking at the snow globe. Doesn't bother anybody if you shake it, but it might get you back into the holiday spirit. This is from Florence. Thank you for that, with a beautiful dog. This is actually a squirrel from the February 19th snow that you know and I know in Norfolk, Virginia Beach, 10, 11 inches. Big deal, right? This is from Newport News from Kathy, a squirrel that was enjoying the snow. I arrived here in Norfolk 2 days after, on the 21st. So I saw the mounds of snow in the parking lot at the local Walmart. Now, Lynn Cherry in Hampton captured this beautiful bluebird. Love being able to see that as well. But again, if you're missing any of this, we were talking about the moon last night. the crescent moon, waning crescent, it's hard to see back maybe tonight. Now, as far as Thursday, 64, 62, back for a weekend of 47 and 57. If you're looking to save some money, 50% off, WTKR 50. I can't emphasize enough, you have Marco's blessing to screenshot this, save it, share it. Anyone who's watching and is hungry. I know that a lot of us get hungry and sometimes we don't have the budget. Anything that you can drum up at marcos.com, they'll take 50% off at the checkout. That could be a pizza, that could be a pizza bowl, a Pozzoli, it could be cheesy bread, wings, hot wings, salads, or even desserts. So I encourage you, or the Philly. Maybe you want the melty white cheese sauce or a chicken fresco. You've got everything on there, including the works, deluxe, you name it. We're also going to be giving away the free pizza for a year certificate tomorrow night. And if you're looking to get on that possibility, you just have to register. It takes about a minute or two at our webpage at WTKR.com/Marcos. The 6 locations that are participating in the free pizza and the 50% off possibilities for the promo code are on your screen. 3 in Virginia Beach, 2 in Chesapeake, and 1 in Norfolk. So very thankful to have Marcos as a sponsor. Very thankful for you this holiday season. Just remember, it doesn't matter if the weather is sunny or if it's rainy. It doesn't matter if it's sunny or serious. Remember, every day that you and I are here, it's a gift. It's a gift. Make the most of it in your neighborhood. We'll see you here tomorrow with some pizza winners. Take care.